morning, Jerome High School, and Happy New Year. I'm Sahana Prabhu.
And I'm Pragnya, and these are your Monday morning announcements.
Attention current junior students. Buckeye Boys and Girls State is an opportunity for current juniors to participate in a government simulation with students from around the state. You will run for city, county, and state office, work with officials from each area of government, and gain first-hand knowledge of the political process. If interested, see Mr. Rice in room C-106.
The first drama club meeting of the new year is Monday, January 12th at 3 p.m. in room D-103. There will be student-led activities and updates on 3 productions taking place this semester: the choir, theater, cabaret in January, student-directed 1 acts in February, and the spring musical in March. We'll see you on Monday, Jan 12th.
Emerald Campus Open House will be held on January 15th from 4 to 6 p.m. For more information, you can visit emerald.dublinschools.net.
Hello everybody, welcome to 2026. We're super excited to be back in January here, and we had a great first full week. Whether you're watching this on Friday evening or on Monday morning, I just wanted to take a few minutes and welcome you and wish you a Happy New Year. 2, just go over a few things because we actually have a really busy month as we kind of transition into this second semester. First and foremost, we have just a reminder, and there's tons of reminders in my newsletter today. Please take a few minutes, or if you didn't read it on Friday, this Monday, please take a few minutes to read through. There's a lot of logistical items and a lot of information in there. There are 2 items that I'd like to highlight for you moving into this next week. One is cell phones. Just a reminder, and I just want to make sure I hit this. We are continuing with the no cell phone policy, which we started in August. You may be hearing some things on the news or whatever that districts are starting following that law on January 1. That is true. You may see some other neighboring districts actually just initiating that. That is not the case with Dublin City Schools. We started in August. The law was just put into place January 1st. We aren't changing any practices. What I will say is that we did see some higher incidences this week with students being used to being on their phones, which I completely understand, my daughter included. Kids are used to being home for winter break and they're on their phones. So we've done a lot of reminders. What I will say is that we are trying to make sure we're being consistent, lunches, hallways, classrooms. We also will be sequestering those phones if students cannot adhere to the policy. So please just reinforce that at home. We just need to stick with it, be persistent, and it will be okay, and they will be okay. So I appreciate your help in supporting that. The second real big item that's in the newsletter this week, and really was in the newsletter last week, is our scheduling for success period that we're in right now. Start on Monday morning during Mod 3, students will be receiving a video and watching a video about scheduling. That will go out to all the classrooms. Also, in addition to that, I will be sending it out to all of you as families on Monday afternoon so you can watch it as well. And then that really kicks off our scheduling process from January 12th, really all the way through January 30th. What we really need from our families and our students is really spend time talking about and really being thoughtful about what they might want to do for their following year. So that goes back to, what are your plans? What are you good at? What don't you like? What are the things that you want to do? In my household, it's about, what would you want to take YPA so you could do an internship experience? What math do you want to take? You need a 4th English. What does that look like? So having those conversations just really starts the ball rolling. Here's what I will tell you. Getting advisement from friends and neighbors and all those things, look, I'm just going to tell you that usually that is not the best way to build a schedule. Nor is the best way to build a schedule, how quickly can I get out of school? That is not good for a senior when they are trying to get ready to prepare themselves for college. So that's Mr. Arendt's 2 cents, but please have those conversations, and that's something we really rely on everybody to work collaboratively, students, teachers, families, to kind of counselors, to make sure we're selecting the best schedule possible. Lastly, it is 2026. So we want to make sure we're starting off in a positive direction. Take the time, gain clarity, give yourself a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Think about what your response wants to be so we can make sure we're having a positive start to the new year. I appreciate everybody, everybody's help and support. Have a great weekend or have a great week. Thanks, everybody.
ASVAB Career Exploration Assessment will be held on February 3rd at 8 a.m. This program provides tools to help students learn about careers and planning for both civilian and military worlds of work. Sign up on Schoolings or contact Ms. Kettler and guidance.
Local scholarship applications will open on February 1st. Seniors, please make sure you're checking your email for this important information.
The Dublin Jerome Student Council is hosting its first volleyball tournament on Friday, January 13th. Pay $5 to spectate prelims during mods 3 and 4. Tickets are open on Hometown Ticketing now. Join TI on February 14th at 7:30 a.m. in the theater room for coloring and snacks.
Join the book club this Monday, January 12th at 2:45 in the library to discuss The Midnight Library. On Wednesday, January 14th, Celtic News will have their first meeting of the year at 7:20 in room E103. This is an all-staff meeting. German Club's first meeting of 2026 will be this Thursday, January 15th before school from 7:15 to 7:45 in Frau Kolken's room C209. Join to make jam sandwich cookies called Spitzebuben in Germany and Switzerland. To RSVP, sign up on the sheet in Frau Kolken's room by Wednesday.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great week, Jerome.